100 gas, but as you can see, the income, it's you're usually on one base, you're getting 3 times as much minerals as gas. And then, you know, having my upgrades, just focusing on that map control. I have to know what he's doing when he's doing it, because I'm playing a sporadic style of game. So I want to hit him and I want to run away. I want to get in and leave before too many troops are lost, and I just have that mobility on him. You, as a Zerg player, you always have mobility on your opponent if you want to. With this build, that's the advantages. I have mobility in Mutalisks and Zerglings because they're 2 of the faster units in the game, but I don't have straight up army versus army you know, advantages. And if I went with like a Roach Hydra build, I might be able to take this a little easier until he gets to those Templars and gets that storm that's just going to chew me up. And then, as always, continue to expand your creep tumors. You can see the more I expand my creep tumors, the more I see. So if any air units are coming in, you know, I have overlords over here, so I just get that little seconds notice. And then I have my Zerglings in the middle, and that's great because if he wants to come in, I can run my Zerglings out of the middle, or I can run them back to my base. So let's see. I'm going to see these guys coming, lose a couple Zerglings in the reaction time, and then I'm going to pull out. So I know that I can't deal with that army. I mean, this force, you can see his army is just way bigger. He has the same, about the same unit count, but it's just much too much for me to deal with. So as a Zerg player, one thing that I like to do is whenever I'm under pressure, I try and put pressure on my opponent. I have some spine crawlers here, so I'm not too worried about my defense, but I know if I don't harass him and he keeps up this army, then I'm not going to be able to beat that, right? So I'm getting my Mutalisks to the back of his base, and then I'm going to push out, you know, when I get them all together. So you can see about 8 of them. And 8's a pretty good number to hit the back with. I don't think there's any magic number you have to worry about. So as he's going to the middle, and I don't necessarily know that, I'm going to the back of his base, and I see just a single photon cannon, so I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to harass his units. And then you can see I see his troops are coming into my base. But I'm doing a good job harassing the back of his base, and then I'm going to want to check here. And I see, okay, I have this hatchery up. It's a bummer I'm going to lose that hatchery, but at the same time, I don't care about losing that hatchery if I can harass this guy's mineral line and just shut him down. So you can see, you know, I've shut down his income completely while I'm still on 2 base. And I know he's not on 2 base, and he might be building this right now, but you know, I don't think I know that. Okay, I know he's building it, but it's not up. And then here, let's rewind this. This is a very critical moment. So you can see right here that he's attacking with his full force while I'm harassing the back of his base. And I have my speedlings up here, and I have a lot of them. You know, what is that? It's too many to count, guys. It's like 40 speedlings. And so I could maybe fight this army, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm harassing him here, so if he gets this base down, I'm still 2 base to his 1 base. And he still has got time to rebuild while I have an income coming in. So let's see what happens. He's attacking here, and he sees, you know, I have too many mutas for him to handle. I'm taking out the defense at the back of his base with my Mutalisks. I'll probably be sending more, so he splits his army. And this is crucial. These Zealots form a great line for these sentries and stalkers and Templar to be behind. And they make it very hard for my Zerglings to deal with that whole army. But separated, it's much easier to deal with either of those portions of armies. And if given the choice, would I rather kill a group of Zealots or a group of these expensive gas-oriented troops, I'm definitely going to go with these gas-oriented troops because they're going to cause the hardest time for my Mutalisks, and my Mutalisks can easily take out the Zealots. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my speedlings, run them across this creep I've expanded, and I know they're doing that because I have these creep colonies, or creep tumors, and I'm going to crush these sentries and the other units, and then I'm going to see if I can push it on his base, and I can't, but right there, I was able to take out, I think, 2 or 3 High Templar and about 5 or 6 sentries for almost no losses of Zerglings, and then I'm still harassing the back of his base, which he has to deal with somehow. So that's a great trade, and then he wants to fight me with the Zealots. Well, look, I don't want to fight you. I'm still on 2 base. I know you're at most on 1 base, and then you have your expansion that was building, and I've killed almost all your probes. So here, if we look at this, it's going to update in a second, I think. And he's got 9 harvesters. He's got 4 harvesters left, and I have 44. So this is a great position in the game for me. I know, okay, I have killed his base. I've harassed his units because I had scouting, and I was able to catch up to him because that's one of the biggest advantages of speedlings. You see I've got even more now. And so I can build up a little economy, and I can build up my army because I've taken out a lot of units that would give me trouble, because those sentries would put up that guardian shield against those mutalisks and really inhibit a lot of their damage. So now I'm at a great point in the game, right? I have gained total economic advantage, I've contained my base's defense, and my opponent is really limited. And that's because of a few critical things that have gone on in this game. I was able to scout with these to see what was going on. I was able to have my overlord early so I could put up enough defenses to block it. I focused on expanding, as I like to play a macro game, so I avoid expanding to my natural because he's holding it, and I use that back base. If it's another map, I might try and expand out earlier. I keep up my vision so I know what's coming at me, and so I know, do I need to get more defense or not. I take the cheap shots where I can get him. I see he's moving those zealots back. I want to take out those 3 zealots now, so it's 3 less zealots I have to face later, and that's what, probably a 250 mineral advantage I get on him. I wait for his defenses to go down at his base so I can harass him, just get in a few leans, get to the back of his base, shut down that economy for a little while, and just, you know, keep pestering, because the strategy of my game is to pester, to get in the back, to shut down his economy. Keep up my scouting the whole game, so I have Overlord's position, I have Zerglings at the Zelnaga, and I occasionally move them in to see if he's expanding. Once again, do the damage you can do, take out whatever it is to slow down his expansion or his building, and then get out. If there's an army attacking me, make sure that I use my positioning right. I can't fight this army right now. I just don't have an army sizable enough to fight it, so I stick to my strategy game. I get my mutalisks, I bring them in the back of their base, I harass them, so I'm getting pressure put on me, but instead I put pressure on them, and that really forces them to play my game as opposed to playing their game. When they attack, I know that I have to make the battles fought at my pace, and so I hold to my defenses. It's a pretty decent defense. He's going to take out my expansion, but that's fine. I still have 2 base to his 1 base. I'm in the back harassing him, and then I wait for that optimal moment. If he has to split his army, once he split it, I take out some critical units, and that Protoss army is so effective when it's all together, but when it's split, I can really do some damage. And then once again, just pick my battles. I'm not going to want to use those Zerglings to fight all those zealots right there. I'd rather fight them with my mutalisks, and my mutalisks are doing fine in the back of his base harassing him, so there's no need to go into that. So remember guys, you want to just play the game your strategy style and try and stick with that as much as possible while reacting to the others. So I had to play defense early because that's what my opponent forced me to do, but then I forced him to move around the map a lot and expose his lack of mobility because that was my strategy in the game. If you guys want more tips or tricks like this, or you want some specific tactics or different builds or whatever, just leave some comments below and tell us how you like this video so we know if you want more strategy perspective, more tactics, whatever it is. Good luck out there hunting, and thanks for listening.